Welcome to Flabbergast's Classics of Illusion. Today we present the Ball and Vase. Inside this simple vase we have a simple ball. We take the ball out of the vase, place it out of view, perhaps in my pocket, cover the vase again, alakazam, lift the lid, and look, the ball has returned to the vase. Likewise, we cover it again, alakazoo, and the ball has disappeared again and returned to my pocket. I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, Flabbergast, you've got to be kidding me. That's a child's toy. I've seen the ball vase, although I call it the ball vase, but you can call it a ball vase. I've seen that since I was a kid. Maybe you are still a kid, but you've seen it before. It's made of plastic and can be bought for less than $3 in many gift shops and toy stores. That's true. But you know, for every children's plaything, there is an original that it's derived from, and that is a classic of magic. I'm not going to stop there. And I'm also not going to show you how this works. There are plenty of places, you probably have owned one of these. And if you haven't, you can certainly acquire one easily enough, and then you can read the directions and find out how it works. I'm not going to show you how it works, but what I am going to show you is how it became a classic of magic. This particular idea has been around for hundreds of years, probably one of the original magician's gimmicks. And I'm going to show you probably what the original version would have looked like. First of all, it would have been a much more ornate looking prop. It would have been made of wood, most likely. This was actually hand turned on a lathe, beautiful woodworking. And of course, inside there is the ball. Now, give you an idea how a magician would present this. You may wonder why a simple ball requires such an ornate casement. Well, it's not an ordinary ball. This ball has special properties. If I were to take this ball out of the vase and put it into my pocket, you'll notice that with just a few seconds of waiting, the molecules of this ball will break up and float through the air, and then they will just diffuse themselves through the wood of the vase cover and reconstitute themselves inside, so that when I lift the lid again, you see the ball has returned to the vase. Likewise, we cover it up, we give it a few seconds, it will dissolve inside the vase and travel back to my pocket, where you will see it has returned, and once again the vase is empty. Now, you may be wondering what that process would look like if I weren't using my pocket. If I were to just take the ball and then just sort of crumble the molecules above the vase and let them just go through that sort of antenna-like point at the top, that pinnacle on top of the vase, the ball has indeed returned into the inside of the case. Now, if you're paying close attention to the design of this, you may wonder if it's actually solid at the bottom, because the ball's inside there, but if you look inside, you can actually see that there's a hole in the bottom, and if I give it a bit of a push from the top, the ball will fall out through the top, and that's a real surprise, isn't it? You wouldn't expect it to go through, and yet it does. And that lovely article is the classic ball vase. You see, when you buy a toy like this, it may seem simple enough to operate it and to present it, but it just doesn't seem that impressive because you've never actually seen a magician perform it. But believe me, magicians did perform this just like I did, or something like that. And many magicians still do. I think it's a lovely piece. In fact, I liked it so much that I found this other version of it, which is actually closer in size to this toy version. But this one, this one's actually made of metal. And it's harder to get the ball out. You actually have to sort of dump the ball out because it's just shaped in such a way that it's difficult to get it out. Now, if I put the lid back on and I put the ball in my pocket, we're going to make it come back. Now, one of the things I really like about the metal construction of this prop is if you listen closely, I'm going to lean forward and see if you can hear this. Do you hear that little ring, that little ding? When it opens up and reveals that the ball has returned, adds a little more magical touch to it. We'll cover that up again, and we'll make it go. And then, of course, it's gone back to the pocket. So, like I said, it seems like a simple enough prop, and of course any child can do it. You find these in magic kits that are available in toy stores and gift shops. And yet it came from a very classic magician's routine, and I find it to be actually quite elegant and beautiful when done well. So hopefully I'm encouraging you, if you've ever practiced magic before, I'm sure you already know this, and if you've never practiced magic before, I would encourage you to try things like this. It's a good way to get started on a new hobby, and as I said, it can be presented in such a way that it actually seems like you're creating an amazing illusion. So, as always, my purpose here on YouTube is to encourage you to have fun with magic, create illusions, and just be amazing. Until next time, this is Flabbergast saying goodbye.